What's up guys, it's Lux over here. Let me show you how to create the Apple website with ChatGPT without using any other tools apart from a text editor that you will need for your HTML and CSS. You probably heard that ChatGPT can help developers speed up the workflow by writing code and adjusting code. And I thought, why can't we just create one of the most known websites on the web? And obviously, the Apple website came to my mind. Maybe a little disclaimer, it's not possible to let ChatGPT create a whole website from zero with just a little prompt. You still have to guide him, you still have to you kind of have to leverage the ability of ChatGPT to have a conversation, to remember the past answers, and also improve the code, just ask and adjust the code that has been created. Okay, but let's have a look at the homepage of Apple. So we have the top navigation with the main products they have, plus accessories, support, and the search icon, the search button, and the shop button. Then we have this kind of announcement of an offer, this banner row here. And then we have the main section that is actually including the picture of the iPhone 14 Pro. We have a headline, a sub headline, and two call to actions. So pretty easy layout. Okay, let's start by creating a repository folder. And then you open the folder into the Visual Studio editor. Now we can start creating the first file. That's going to be the index HTML. And now it's time to start the conversation with the ChatGPT. Let's start by asking to create the basic HTML file, index file. So as you can see, ChatGPT is creating an HTML file, including also some of the most common sections that a website has. We are gonna just copy the text, and we have our index file. You can open it, it's obviously empty. So now it's time to ask him to create the top nav of the Apple website. Now actually we could give him better instructions, for example saying which links are included in the top nav, or by saying you have to include the logo, the Apple logo on the top left, and as we have seen, we have also the search button and other elements. But I think it's kind of funny to give him the chance to guess what we have on the top navigation. We just copy and paste the code. So we're talking about the header, but I'm gonna paste it here. Now obviously go back to the, so we have, let's compare obviously what we have on the Apple website and guess of ChatGPT. Okay, so what are we missing here? So let's duplicate the lines. So we're missing the studio, the store. Then we have the Mac, iPad, iPhone, watch. Then we have iPods. iPods, TV, and home. Honestly, it doesn't have to be exactly the same, but you got the idea. So we can copy and paste all the voices, and then we have a couple of things missing. Okay, we have the logo. That's pretty nice, pretty neat. Let's save the file and look at the structure. Okay, we have the Apple logo, we have the other things. We are still missing. Please include the search and shop icons on the top right of the nav. So let's copy and paste the new div that was given to us. It's still part of the nav, of course, and let's see. So we don't have anything, right? Why? Because ChatGPT is making use of font awesome, so a library of icons that we have to include in our HTML. Okay, ChatGPT is not completely accurate when it comes to links or to sources, and so I would recommend in this case to just include the right link of the font library we talked about in the head section of your HTML. I'm gonna include the link down in the description. Now we need to include obviously the offer announcement, let's say. So let's ask ChatGPT. How can we ask that? So let's copy and paste the text that is into this banner. Add a row after the nav, the main nav, which include the following text. Row banner. Let's see. Now we have our div that we asked. It's this one. Just be sure that you copy the right code, and we're gonna place it exactly after the navigation. So here is nav, and here it is. Let's see. Here we are. And now the only thing missing is the main section of the hero section. Obviously what you are seeing now in the index is a very raw version of the website, because we just see the skeleton, the elements in the HTML. But in a moment we're going to move on to the next phase of styling, of formatting the whole page so that it looks more like the one of Apple. Okay, here we have this section. I'm not 100% confident with this one. Let's see. We're going to place this into the, I just place it here, section, hero section. And here we are. We have H1, H2 and the two call to actions. That's pretty nice as a starting point. And now it's time to define the style. Okay, let's ask ChatGPT to create a style sheet for us. Honestly, I would recommend to do this section by section. So I will start with the top navigation. Of the top navigation to look like the top nav of the Apple website. Again, in this case, I'm leaving ChatGPT a lot of room for interpretation. This is really important. I could give a very much more detailed prompt and saying exactly how the top navigation on the homepage of Apple is formatted, and in that case obviously the result will be much better. But let's see what we get, and then we will ask him to adjust the code. Let's copy the code, and we haven't created yet a code. We're gonna call this style CSS and just paste it here, and obviously to work we have to ensure to have the link into the HTML. Now when we reload the page, we have quite a nice formatting. It doesn't look at all as the Apple website, but we are getting there. Okay, let's ask him include the font family as it is on the Apple website and format the background to be gray. Let's see. So we have here font family, I would recommend to copy and paste this. Actually, we can also get a better result with a better prompt, as I said. But in this case, we can assume that the font family is needed for the whole website. So we're gonna just include this code, not for the class for the navbar, but for the whole body. So we have the font family defined. We are getting other information that probably we have already. So for example, the padding is already defined. The background color we can change. Okay, let me see. Okay, the gray is not the one we expected. So the better way to do this is to go on the website, the Apple website, and just inspect the code to get exactly the color that we want. So then we go into here and we paste the code, and here we are, color here, and it's exactly opacity .7, and let's get rid of it here. So now we are getting closer to it. The font is bold. The font weight, let's see. The font weight of the navlinks is 600. We probably have to reduce it to make it look more like the, maybe not 300 but 400. That's pretty much okay. And then maybe we reduce the size to 14. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, we're still missing quite a little bit of style. The website is still not looking exactly how we want, but we're getting there. Okay, let's ask ChatGPT, please make the search and shop icons white. So we're gonna get this. Let's place the website here and look at all the difference. So we need the Apple logo. This we can do manually, but let's see if we manage to do this with ChatGPT. The purpose of this video is obviously also to show you the limitations of ChatGPT. The little disclaimer I said at the beginning, you need a little bit of knowledge of HTML and CSS, and you have to go and tweak a little bit the code to get the result you want. You are not gonna get the final complete website with ChatGPT. Let's have a look at it. As you can see, we have a shop icon class. Let's see if it was defined. Shop icon class with a color. That's perfect. We have it white. Okay, first of all, let's try to get the logo. Please include the Apple logo on the left side of the top nav. It looks like that we have now a link to the image of the logo. I'm not so confident that this is the right link, but let's try this. So we go into our HTML, and we had already the link to the logo, but now we even have the real link to something. So let me check. Ooh, that's really nice, pretty neat. Obviously we don't need the logo text, in this case Apple. We can delete. A quick fix I can quickly show you. So we have the navbar, and justify content is space between, so the space is distributed on the whole width. We have to center it, and here we go, we fixed it. Now you can see there is also this margin on the body. That's something that it's an easy fix as well. You can add the margin 0. You can ask this also to ChatGPT to remove the margin, and you're gonna get probably the same prompt. And then there are a couple of things that don't make sense to do with ChatGPT because they are really quick fix. So for example, the Apple logo here, we can move a little bit, we can give a little bit of padding on the right. So we can just go here and we look for the logo. We can add padding right 20 pixel. Let's see if this is enough. It looks quite enough. We can ask ChatGPT also to reduce the height of the top bar, but we can also do this by ourselves. So we have the height that can be either fixed or defined or determined by the padding. So the padding is, we're gonna do 8 pixel. Let's try to remove the whole padding. Okay, now maybe it's a little bit too much. Let's add 4 pixel of padding. And as you can see, the font is even smaller. So let's reduce the font even more. Let's check for the font size. So we have 14, we can reduce to 12 pixels. Yeah, that's perfect. Now, as you can see, even the icons, they are not exactly the same. We took some icons from a library, but you could create your icons, download other icons. But I think we are pretty much done with the top navigation. I will continue with the main hero section. So the text should be centered, and then we have to ask ChatGPT to make the H1 bigger than the H2. So he's gonna give us some sizes. He doesn't know exactly the sizes that Apple is displaying on the website. So obviously we can tweak this a little bit. So first of all, we have the hero section with all these attributes that are gonna align the. So there is no result, so that means the hero section class was not created yet. So let's add this here. And then we have all these classes for the H1 and H2. Let's save the file and reload this. So we reload the page and there is nothing happening. Why? Probably because the classes are not linked to the HTML. Let's have a look. So if we assign the class hero to the exact section that is actually impacting the hero section, then we're gonna see that the classes that ChatGPT suggested to us are gonna be visible. Okay, and now we need an image, a crazy image like Apple has on the hero section. And there are different ways to do it, but since we are working with AI, I will suggest to obviously do it with DALL-E or Stable Diffusion, or my favorite one, Midjourney. So I already created one image with Midjourney. Okay, I created, so I started by asking iPhone 14 Pro, Microshot, Octane Render 4K. I got different amazing pictures actually, very stunning visuals that I couldn't really use for my purpose. So I wanted something less complex, a little bit more minimalistic. As you can see on the website, on the Apple website now, we have most of the space, most of the negative space is black, and that's why I went for much more concise prompt, and then I remixed it, and when I was happy I added a colorful gradient. As you can see, this it's not so strong, but it's still visible because at the beginning it was a little bit boring, was a little bit too gray and with neutral colors. So after a little bit of refinement, I upscaled it and downloaded it on my folder. So I called it iPhone, and if I'm not wrong, the background image should be already here defined. We just have to give the proper name of our file that is iPhone PNG. So we can save the file and see the result. Not bad, right? So now there are a couple of things that we have to change. Let's do this very quickly because it's no rocket science. So the text for the text H1, H2, they are both, let's add them here. Could do it smarter, but so color white and color white, and here we are. Now we have to ask ChatGPT to put the okay. First of all, the hero section needs to be bigger. So let's ask ChatGPT to have, so that in the case of Apple is almost the whole height of the screen. So we can to simplify, we can ask ChatGPT to make the hero section fill the height of the screen. Please make the hero section have the full height of the screen. This is one thing, but then I guess there is something else. Yes, the text and the call to actions need to be moved a little bit on the top. So we have a justify content flex start. Let's see if we had this already. We didn't have yet center flex start. Let's see if this changes anything. Yes, perfect, very amazing. Now let's add the full width, the full height. So as you can see, ChatGPT added a 100 viewport height, I think it's called. We're gonna add this to the hero section. Oops, I did something wrong. Let's reload the page. Amazing. So we are almost there, we are almost done. So we have to change the text to be iPhone 14 Pro and then Pro Beyond. This we can do manually, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, iPhone 14 Pro, no. Okay, that's... And then we have one problem, the text is a little bit bigger and the subtitle is a bit smaller, so we can adjust this very quickly here by going here and saying 56 pixel for the H1 and 28 for the H2. That's pretty much there, and then the font weight should be maybe 400, and the subtitle is also a little bit less, so here is 400, let's do it 300. Pretty neat. So what are we missing? We are missing the two call to actions, learn more and buy. Let's add them here, learn more. And buy, learn more and buy. We have them. As we can see, the color is not exactly the same as we have here. Let's take the color that is defined on the Apple website. So we have here the Xcode that we are gonna just paste somewhere here. Let me see. Okay, now we're getting there. The padding is a little bit too much, so we can try with 10. Very nice. We still have the call to action underlined. Let's change that. We can just add like remove the text decoration, and this is better. Now we have too much padding on top of H2. Let's check this. Let's remove any margin. So we are almost there, really. Now I will say that we are missing the message, the promotional message in the middle. Like it should be centered, and then I think we are basically done. So let's ask ChatGPT to center the banner text to the middle. Let's see what we're gonna get. So the funny thing is that ChatGPT forgot some parts of our conversation. So for example, the classes are not linked anymore to the HTML. So we have to double check that. That means we can still use it. So justify content center, display flex, that's pretty neat. But we have to check on our code if we still have. So we don't have the class banner, for example. That's exactly the point I was saying. So we have to check what was the class that we assigned to the. So it's raw banner. It's called raw banner. Let's go for it. And that's perfect. It's centered to the middle. The height is gonna be maybe 40. Maybe 40 is too. Oh wait, let me check. Yes, it's maybe 50. Yeah, that's perfect. And then we can define the text, and we are done. We're good to go. Font size 14 pixel. Opacity 0.7. Now, before we conclude, the hero section served us to show the potential of ChatGPT in web development. But what will be the next steps? We still have to make it responsive, we still have to add all the interactions, and finally, we will need to build all the other sections to have the complete page. Thank you for joining me on this journey. And if you liked the video or if you learned something, please like or subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you in the next video.